to the Dumbass class with me, the Dyslexic Gamer, for our Warhammer Fantasy RPG tabletop game night, something like that. So a quick reminder, last time the group came to this woodcutter's camp to investigate why the deliveries of wood had stopped. They're currently here by order of the Raven Guard Knights, and they are currently acting on their behalf. Whilst the group had quite a nice evening with the trader who married into the town, his beautiful wife Gretel, and his name was Hans. In the evening, one of the characters heard a disturbance in the woods, and they saw torches and the sounds of drums. And after the group investigated, they came across what appeared to be some sort of ritual. One of the characters had snuck up for a better position, whilst the others had stayed in the shadows. They've heard some dialogue from the enemy, and now they need to make a decision about what they are going to do.
Pretty sure it's gonna involve killing rednecks.
Yep.
By all means, that is an option.
Also, we left Hans and Pretzel in the village, right?
Yes, they are
We
still
did.
at home.
Pretzel.
Hans and Gret.
It sounds better than
Hansel
Close
and Gretel.
enough.
Now, it's canon.
to be fair, it sounds better than getting it in my head confused that a brother and sister are having a relationship. Because that's what the naming has done in my head.
Rednecks.
Yeah, but they are not the rednecks of this town, so they shouldn't be. But
At
Let's
least
not
you-
delve too deep into that.
At least you
Yes,
do
please
know
don't.
that Hans is a trader from out of Sterling. Sterling. Yes, Sterling. He's not from round here, so yeah.
Small mercies.
doesn't change the way it sounds in my head.
So as you lurk in the darkness, you can hear they are drinking, or at least some of them appear to be drinking. As you peer through, there is a wall that blocks your vision of one half of the site. But you would be able to see that there are a couple of people drinking and being merry. You would definitely be able to see the blood, and some of you would be able to see the corpses. And you would have heard the old man talking about sacrifice.
How many men are there? Do we see?
4,
Or
5,
do we
6,
hear?
7. I'll tell you, there's like 8 of them.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4,
6,
5. Okay, yeah. If that's the case, I am going to attempt to sneak up to the entrance of this place and motion everyone to follow me, and I have my weapons out.
Okay. This here is it's not a solid fence. It's an iron slatted fence. It's been rusted away, so you can see through there. But I tell you what, I will give you all a +10 to silent move. I think it's silent move or stealth, because
Silent move.
they can't really see you from there.
Here goes nothing. How?
Can I move to a better position that isn't right on top of them? Because I'm actually closer than they are.
If you do another silent move, then yes, you can move up again.
Also, the character sheet
I
is throwing
failed.
errors at me.
Yeah, it's doing it for me as well.
It's doing what?
It says no attribute was found for a thing, which then doesn't actually have any effect on the roll.
Ignore.
It'll just look annoying on our end.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to do this, but I know this is a bad idea. And I'll
I just
move
broke stealth.
very slowly forward in only about 5 meters. Nope.
I mean, there isn't really a better vantage point for me at the moment, considering that we've got clank, 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 clank going up, but still I broke stealth.
Yeah. That and Bill and Ted need to stealth up as well.
Bill and Ted are going to stay in the position that they have, because Bill and Ted have a plan that they're going to do. As let me get them right. As Bill looks into Ted's eyes, Ted has a kind of shaky look about him, and they quietly give each other a nod to show that they understand the plan that they're going to do. Trying to find the bloody. They get a +10. And another +10.
How the fuck do footpaths have percent?
So, they do not notice you as you move up. You may move your half move up. So that would be between 4 and 5.
I don't really have anywhere I can move, so I'm just gonna stand there.
Billy Bob gets a free move because I'm not doing everything for him.
His
He means
ability
another
to...
sheet.
I was just thinking his ability to silent move is actually better than mine. And I got like a 50-50 chance of actually succeeding at it.
Well, one of my screens is taken up by character sheets. I can't fit another one on for the minute. So
I
yeah.
think I forgot to roll my initiative. Let me do so.
You can. This is not initiative time. You are moving up really slowly and quietly, trying not to be seen. And the people just carry on with their ritual.
To be fair, I'm not that much concerned with not being seen. I'm just more concerned with getting to the entrance.
Ted kneels down in front of Bill and raises his shield up. So he is effectively acting as cover for Ted, whilst making himself as small as possible.
I'm gonna move very slowly close forward, and then I actually want to see if I can notice what they're doing. Can I attempt a perception?
Sure, you can. You can have a +10 because it's darkness all around you, but they have lights going.
Okay, so +20 for me. Nope.
Can I try perception? I'm immune to darkness.
Yep.
For at least 30 yards.
We'll just change it to meters. If it says yards,
Yeah,
it's in
30
meters
squares. And of course they have lights where I wouldn't be able to see immediately anyway.
Can I try perception too?
Sure. Anyone who'd like to, you can with a +10.
Psychic phenomena! Woohoo!
So Gabrielle, as you look over at the group, you can't see all of them. You can see a decent number. You note that most of them, at least the ones that you can see, don't really have weapons. They do have drinks, they are dancing, and they don't appear to be dancing together. It's not like a unison dance or a ritual. You're not quite sure. I mean, you don't have any knowledge of magic, but it seems more like a barn dance than anything of a magical sense. The ones that you can see appear to have improvised weapons, although you can see one larger individual in the back who does appear to have a cudgel, but you don't see any armour.
And what do my elven eyes see?
Azurus, you would see essentially the same, because the ones who are behind this wall here, you can't see. So you can't see any of them anyway. The only ones you can see are two individuals. Actually, no. Yeah, I'll give you. There's another individual who appears to be quite well built and has a cudgel in his hand, and he's waving it about, dancing manically, but that's about it.
I'll whisper to the rest of the group. I've seen just about enough. We give them one chance to surrender, and otherwise we take them down. Objections?
We try not to kill them.
Sarah's gonna shake her head as I'm fine. And also I'm gonna channel and then cast a spell on me, just to be, safe.
I know.
Does the spell cause any light to emerge? Is there a magical... No? Okay, then that's
The
fine.
etheric armor is actually invisible.
Okay, then that's perfectly fine.
Which is lovely.
But you do need... Is that just one dice, or is that a 2 dice?
One dice. I can cast it as one dice. Why?
No, I was just wondering if I needed to open up the page for magical...
I'd have had it up and then dumped the page once it happened, if it happened. Just to make your life easier.
Thank you.
I'd once more like to sneak up to the front of, the gate. So up to here.
Sure. If you're planning on giving them a chance to surrender, then you can just walk quietly up there. But they...
Yeah, I'm not so much necessarily sneaking, as in going low and avoiding lights. I'm just not overly attempting to draw attention to myself.
Okay.
And I have my weapons out.
Okay. They will get a chance to perceive you, but their perception's pretty crap anyway.
I gotta admit, I find it slightly hilarious. Their perception's pretty crap anyway. It's only 2 less than mine.
They're getting a +20 to that because he's walked up and not stealthed. There is drumming, and there is, they are, their attention is drawn to other places.
I don't mean like a horrible sense. It's just I do find it amusing. It's pretty crap. Even with bonuses, it's 2 less than mine. It's just yep. Slight pride there.
I motion everyone else to also get into position.
I'm actually gonna try to stealth up behind him. I know I'm probably going to fail, but I'm gonna try once more, and I'm walking very slowly.
Did I fire arrows over the fence?
Actually didn't do it.
You can. So it's a where it's a wrought iron slatted fence. There is a minus to trying to shoot through it, and plus then there's the ruined wall. I should probably change.
I don't
my
want to shoot
colour.
through the wall. I just want to see if I just want to know if I shoot over this fence. I didn't see myself shooting over a wall, especially possibly at a guy who I don't even know exists really, aside from his noise.
I would probably say this. You could, if someone was stood, if one of the enemies is stood on the platform in the middle, then yes, you could shoot over the fence at them. Their legs would be hidden. But other than that, the rest of the ruin is on ground level, so you technically wouldn't be able to shoot over and like lob an arrow over the wall into them, because it doesn't work like that.
That's fine. I'll just silent move to a better position.
Sure. Essentially, you can move you can basically move to where Bill and Ted are for free, because they've had their perception for this round of movement, basically.
Okay.
Well, if you fail when you're silent moving, they get a +10. Where Azura's just walked up, it's, you know, they've had their chance, they failed. I will move Billy Bob behind you. So, what is the team's decision now?
Weapons out.
I'm gonna actually try to perceive again.
Just give me a moment to get in position.
Okay.
Do I still get the +10?
Sure, yeah, you can have a +10 to your perception or a +10 to silent move.
I'm silent moving.
Cool, you can move your full movement to wherever you want.
Knock your arrows and be ready to exit the shadows.
I'm gonna have my club and shield rather than a bow.
Okay.
I'm just gonna crack my knuckles a little bit and ready myself to cast.
No one else is moving?
I'm still trying to continue moving to position.
Wait, is
No,
your
you
bow a
can move your
longbow?
full. You can move your full distance because you
Yeah,
succeeded.
Ooh, I could have done that too, because I also succeeded in my full move, on my silent move.
Yes.
So I can move another 5.
Wilhelma, is your bow a longbow by any chance?
No,
Okay.
it's just a regular bow.
I've got a regular bow as well.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
I'm not in
Yeah,
a position,
over
but I'm
here.
close enough.
Besides, I would need special training for a longbow.
Okay. So they're going to have their round of perceptions, but they do not get the bonus this time. Oh. One of the guy with the cudgel who was down here, he hears something, possibly some cracking in the darkness, and he turns round, and another couple follow him and look.
Do we notice them noticing us?
They are definitely not going to be caught unaware now, but they haven't exactly pinpointed you yet.
Okay. Is everyone in position?
Close enough.
Yeah.
As close as I care to get.
I don't know if this is actually a gate or if this is just shadow.
You don't need to worry about. It is a gate, but you don't need to worry about it being. It's no cover to you or the enemy. It won't block your shots or your spells.
I mean,
I say to those with bows out,
I'm ready.
arrows knocked. Prepare to fire. Don't draw your bows yet, though. And with those words, I step out of the shadow and walk through the gates. Alright! There's 2 ways we can do this. Either you all come quietly, or we'll be forced to arrest you all by force.
You said force twice.
You hear gasps and shocked sounds from the people performing this weird ritual type thing, and then you hear a voice that you've heard before, an old grouchy voice where you can hardly understand what he's saying. Now what the fuck are y'all doing out here? This is none of y'all business. Y'all need to get up and get out of here.
Let me rephrase it then. Attention heretics. Surrender or possibly die.
As you shout that, you see... roll me an intimidation, actually. That would probably work better. You can have probably a +10.
Okay, add a +10 to that, it won't help.
Okay, he is then going to roll command. But he fails as well, not as badly as you. So as you shout out this threat, you see a couple of the people, like, they drop their drinks and the glass smashes on the stone floor. And they look shocked, but then they hear the old man, "What are y'all talking about? This is our ritual. We've been doing this for years. We ain't no heretics. We believe in the divine, and these are city slickers. They don't understand us. We need to take them out before they tell anyone what we're doing here."
So be it. Make peace with your pitiful god. And I take a combat stance.
Okay.
And I also yell to the people with arrows knocked, if they follow my command, "Fire!"
Okay, and with that then, the three individuals appear to stay in combat.
Okay. Bill or Ted, which was the one with the bow? I forgot for all this time.
Bill, Bull, Ted, Billy.
So Bill's bow snapped last time when he got a critical hit. So he's actually taken one of the crossbows from out of the wagon to replace his poor broken bow. But it is actually Billy Bob's turn first up.
Don't they immediately? Okay, never mind. I thought they would get a chance to fire before combat officially started, but okay.
No, unfortunately, you didn't plan an ambush like that, so they were not prepared for something like that.
Oh,
I was gonna say that I didn't even plan to fire the moment you said heretics. I was gonna do something else, but combat immediately kicked in.
Everyone who has a ranged weapon had an arrow knocked. I will definitely give you that. So Billy Bob fires his shot, and he hits in the body.
Billy Bob has a bow?
Yep, Billy Bob took a bow out of the wagon last time he was here.
It was one of the crappy ones, wasn't it?
Nope, you only had good bows last time. You had crap crossbows.
I mean, technically, I don't have a bow, but
So, he can't dodge. Oh, sorry, I was thinking, so right, now he's going to have to dodge. No, he doesn't, does he? It's just damage time.
I'm sorry.
All the damage, all the time.
Could you repeat that?
Hang on, a bow has +3 to its damage, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, he hasn't put that in right, so that's 6. That's actually 6 damage because he didn't put a damage modifier in. Okay. So, 6 damage goes into the... quite shocked... Actually, which number is he? I need to check this. Into number 34. Number 34, you have taken damage, my friend. It's taken... And as the arrow hits into his chest, you hear a yelp of pain, and Billy Bob knocks another arrow. Oh no, he doesn't, because he aimed. Azurus, it is your turn. The person in front of you has been hit in the chest with a arrow.
Okay. Music stopped, by the way. Don't think you put it on repeat. In that case, seeing the man already has been hit with an arrow, I charge forward and attempt to finish the job. I show these men that we mean business. So,
Sure.
charge is a +10, right?
Yep. Okay, he is unable to parry with his improvised weapon, and he does not have dodge. 8 damage. Take away 3 is 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. 8 damage.
A deep blow cuts into his chest, and you see him cry out in pain as you bring your sword down, blood spurting everywhere. You notice he has no armor. You don't pity him.
Of course, we're not gonna pity farmers wearing sticks.
Ted.
Oh no! If they
We'll
surrender,
use
I will
sticks
immediately.
and, you know.
If they surrender, I will immediately tell you guys to care for them. As long as they don't surrender, I show we mean business.
Ted takes a defensive action because he's already got 5. I think he's taken 5 wounds. Yeah, he's taken 5 wounds, so he is still quite badly injured. So that's his turn. Oh bloody hell! Bill and Ted were one after another again. Good lads. Bill takes aim at the ruffian with the top hat, seeing him as a bigger threat. And he hits him in the head.
Good boy, Bill.
Yeah, Bill is having no shit tonight. With 8 damage done. Which one is he? Number 37. You're having a bad day. 8 take away 3.
Well, fuck. There goes. There's Gabrielle's little plan to try to prevent combat. Leave 2 guys dead.
And yes, again with a twang, there is now a bolt sticking out of. Oh, actually, no. We'll have to change that. With a twang and a scream, you hear as you look at his face, and his cheek has been torn away, but the bolt did not hit him squarely. Miss Gabrielle, it is your turn.
People, lay down your arms. I am of this land as well, and even you must understand that murdering things does not feed the land. It's against all teachings. Even you must know that attempting to slaughter, to feed the land blood, will only curse it. It may feed you now, but one day it will always come down with some form of punishment. We've just come from a farm that's followed similar logic. They died to a beast of legend. Can I try and charm 4 of them in? Just check. I think it's 3 of them into dropping their weapons and standing down. If not, I'm opening fire.
You can roll if you want, you can roll a charm flat, or you can roll a command with a +20, or a intimidate with a +20.
I got better odds with the command.
Okay. With a 0-1. With a 0-1, you note that 3 of the... Hang on, let me double check. Yep, 3 of the individuals drop their arms and fall to the ground. You would see the individual there. The individual who is fighting Azurath drops his weapon and falls to the ground. Where is it? And an individual who you can't actually see, but he heard your words, and you hear the smash of his bottle and the drop of whatever was in his hand as he falls to the ground, crying out, "Please, please, we oh, hang on, wrong accent. We didn't do nothing. We were just here drinking and having fun." And but that is your basically your attack. If you want to move, you can. but 3 individuals have basically given up.
I'm gonna come out of the shadows. They deserve the respect of that, so I'll move.
Sure.
I assume that it's a half action for me to charm them or
Yeah.
command them.
I believe using skills is a half. One of the individuals in the back, however, they are not quite so willing to give up. Number 41.
I'll go admit, I'm now really wishing I had public speaker. I'd have hit all of them.
No, so there were 3 individuals who you could have affected. The others are loyal and will fight to the death. That's how I basically did it.
Yeah, also, the moment I see this man drop his weapon, I take a more relaxed stance towards him and focus my gaze on someone else.
Sure, yep, you are essentially out of combat at the minute. But there is someone crying at your feet. The number 41 decides that she is going to fire her crossbow at someone. The only person she can really see, however, is Mr. Azurus. Actually, you guys can bugger off now. I don't need you. So she very stupidly... Actually, she should get an intelligence test. Just to see if she's intelligent enough to realise... No, she's not. So she fires her crossbow at Mr. Azurus with a -20 because of his shield. And it just pings off the side of the shield.
Small question, does wearing a male shirt by itself also mean that I'm wearing medium armor, or is that I need more male to wear?
Only it's you're wearing medium unless you're only wearing a male coif. When you're wearing male,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, so if you've
Okay.
got a male shirt on, then you're wearing medium armor.
Okay, yeah, I just needed to tick that box still. We haven't made any further agility tests apart from the sneaking though, so
And
I failed
initiative.
at that regardless.
Okay, no, that's fine. We'll errata that for next time. That's fine. So yes, she fires and misses. She still has a half action, so she is actually going to start reloading.
I'm sorry, I have to ask. Her target was 1?
The sheer number of penalties you get for trying to hit someone with a shield is crazy. And then, yeah.
-20 for having a shield.
Yeah,
Shield's OP.
And it's a poor crossbow, so that's another -5.
I see. But Jesus.
Miss Lysiara, it is your turn. I'll remove the people who are cowering. I'll bring them over here.
I mean, you could live in him. I do need. He hasn't actually gone out of combat, right?
He's not in combat there. Yeah, he's on his own, stood there.
No. But I mean, he hasn't given up, surrendered. I mean,
No. Everyone else in there is willing to fight to the death. Kind of. If you scare them enough, they probably will give up.
I'm going to cast a fireball at that dude because he's the leader.
Okay.
And I'm actually gonna use my ingredients too.
Left arm and left leg both take 11 damage. Holy
Oh god.
Does he get a chance to dodge?
Actually, he doesn't take 11 damage. He takes 12 and 12. No, he does not.
So I guess we're having
no,
a fried
sorry,
redneck.
It's 11 and 11. The actual spell damage of Fireball was 3, but it gets improved to 4.
Okay. So
Ranged attacks.
So you see this... Hang on a minute. He has got... Hang on. 24.
This year will
Take
smile, get up 2 fireballs in her hands, and she's just gonna start
So hang
chucking
on,
at
so
him.
12. Take away 4.
I know he's the old
Eight,
man and the one that was,
which
calling
is
us
16.
fuckers all the time. So
You see this old man stood on this plinth shouting out to the others before Gabrielle shouts to them that they need to stop this madness. 3 of them cower away, and you just see Lysiara shout out, "Fuck you, old man!" as she fires this fireball. The old man screeches in pain, and you see his moustache and his beard and hair just go up in flames with a bright flash. But as the fires die away, he is still somehow standing.
Also,
Bloody hell.
This Sarah is not that cruel. She was not gonna curse him. She's just gonna smile and cast.
He has, just to let you know, he has 1 HP. He is like breathing heavily, like holding, like this everywhere he touches is just burning and crispy, and his eyes are going
is he on
milky.
fire?
Doesn't light him on fire, sadly.
Yeah, it's
Does not
magic
light
fire,
fire,
so no, it
sadly.
doesn't.
Warp fire, still fire.
I
It's
think
not
only
like Dark Heresy where
fire makes people go on fire.
It's
Yeah.
not like Dark Heresy where fire everything permanently lights you on fire.
Okay, this is magical fire, so it's just
So it's
Roman spells spades, eat the spade, go.
it's his turn. He has 1 HP. He's not down yet. So he is going to quick action, pull out his crossbow, and he is going to fire it at the person who fired at him.
If he's firing at this Ciara behind... Okay, never mind, he missed.
Even if he's firing at me, don't worry. She doesn't mind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it wouldn't have
yeah.
hit. It wouldn't have hit you, Azurf.
No, but I was mostly saying, like, if he's trying to fire past me, I would have attempted to block him with my shield.
Don't worry about it. I'm fine.
So as he curses at his inept ability to fire, although his hands are very shaky as he tries to aim, the individual who I believe someone shot is going to charge at Azurf, trying to protect his boss. He can't charge that distance. There's no way he can charge that distance. So he's going to stand in front of his boss, even though that's probably not a good idea. The other dude is also going to move up, because I know he can't charge. Miss Wilhelma.
Ah, yes. So my 12, 5, that's 6. I move to here. And this is my turn.
Okay. You were gone. You're gone. So that leaves this other individual, who he is going to run. He's going to run to there. Now it is Billy Bob's turn. Well, I believe... No, Billy Bob shot one of the people who gave up, I think it was someone... It was Ben who... Bill, that's the one, who shot him. Billy Bob's going to do the same thing. Where's your sheet, Billy Bob? There it is. So half action to reload, so he can't aim this turn. And he misses. Azurf, it is your turn.
But Kane was guided! And I strike out.
Okay, who are you going for? Because none of them are actually in range. You have the choice, basically, of who you'd like to...
I rush up to the old man.
Okay.
That's another charge attack.
God damn it.
Well, I know for a fact you cannot parry with a... Oh, no, he does have dodge. He does actually have dodge. And he failed. He's going to use his fortune point for that. Because he has 1 HP. And he failed again.
Can Azurf actually go through 2 people blocking him? Because he
Neither of them are
wouldn't have to
actually
pass.
touching him in combat.
Yeah, he wasn't in combat. So technically, they don't have to. They can just turn and attack him on their turn. I don't think there's a reaction attack in this. Unless they held their action to attack anyone who went past them. But they didn't get a chance to do that.
There's a disengage, but you've got to be already in melee with someone to get the attack if they don't disengage.
Okay, so he goes down to -1. So let's roll on the chart, shall we? What happens at -1? Nothing too bad. Where is it again? That's a good point. I think is it under armor? Nope, that's blood loss. Weapons. There it is.
It's in the weapons.
Where did you hit him as well? You hit him in the right arm.
It's already burned and charred.
He cannot use his arm for 1 turn. Is that right? Yep, for 1 turn.
I just step forward quickly and just, with blinding speed, just stab my sword forward and draw it back into his shoulder.
The nerves being sliced and his arm going numb and dropping by his side. Ted's going to take a defensive action. Bill's going to spend a full turn reloading. Miss Gabrielle, it is your turn.
I'm going to put an arrow down range. I'm going to aim and shoot at this dude.
Sure, he's not
It's
actually
full.
in combat yet, so that's fine. And to the head. With a 10 as well. Number 34, it's not a good day to be you. So that's
It's really not a
7.
good day when the farm girl says stand down.
7.
You ignore her. So she kills you for it.
7. So 0.
And she, when she fires the arrow, it's with a don't say I didn't warn you.
0 is 4. He goes down to -3. What happens at -3 to the head?
Probably bad things.
His face shattered and knocked to the ground. The character is considered helpless. Blood loss is such that the character's value... Ooh, plus 20? Yeah, he's fucked. So, this character is considered helpless. I'm basically going to put him... Well, it did say prone as well, so that one will work. Actually, we'll use one of the arrows, because he did get shot.
Each turn, are we gonna roll a d5 to see if we kill him?
I'll roll a 1d100, and if he gets 20, then he dies. I think that's right.
It's 20 or less, I guess.
There is blood loss in under armor, so just like that.
Ah, that's also something I could do. On his turn, I believe it happens. So, as you fire off this arrow, you just hear this screak as someone falls to the ground, clutching their face. and what you can presume is the fletchings of your arrow.
Can I use quick draw to reload instantly, or do I actually have to reload properly next turn?
Quick draw doesn't help with your reloading. It only helps with drawing a item.
I just wanted to
Yeah,
find
it's
out,
stupid like that.
because the logic in this game follows so many stupid rules.
I mean, there is
fast
rapid reload, so
Rapid reload. That's the one that allows you to turn it into a free
I
action.
wanted to check how we were doing it because of the whole slightly stupid thing about how reloads work in the system.
No, for quick reload, that will affect your reload speed.
Yeah, I got that. I was just saying I wanted to check because of the stupid way the system does reloads. You know, reloading above.
So this individual has to spend a full action reloading, so they can't do anything. Miss Lyciara, it is your turn. I'm really regretting giving them those ball crossbows.
I'm gonna just smile and do the same.
Is it an
It's working.
AoE or is it?
I can
just
choose
fireballs?
where it hits and who it
Okay,
hits.
cool. Just wondering.
It's like Smite if you couldn't dodge Smite.
And you don't take any penalties for shooting into combat with magic, do you?
Nope.
I don't think so. Cool.
No, I do not. And that's a really, really bad roll, so I'm gonna actually target. Fuck it, both on the odd man because I want to kill the snake.
So -4, 5. So -4, 1.
You know,
4. So he goes
I don't
down
know.
to -5. We'll take the first one, which is the body.
both are in the body. Was that he died in the first hit? If so, can I change the direction of the second one?
No, he needed all of them. He's
Oh.
got 3 toughness and 1 armor. So your first one only did 1 damage, so it wouldn't have got him
Gotcha.
to critical 5. So as you throw your first fireball, it hits him in the chest, and you just see a burning hole appear. And as he rises up in pain, you throw your second one, and it hits him square in the face, and his head explodes along with his body, destroying all of his armor. No, we'll have his head pop off. We'll have his head explode.
I mean, I'd prefer to have his chest ripped open and there's just a massive hole which you can see through.
Fair enough. His armor is ruined, but there is a hole clear through him, reaching to the other side.
This guy is smiling a lot and he's just looking at the people like, who's next?
I keep forgetting you're always a psycho. Every single time.
Fire mages are actually hot-headed, so I got a
but it's
lucky roll.
hot-headed
I
and
didn't get
murder.
hot-headed.
Like you're murder hope,
Yeah.
not a fire mage at the moment.
They're just returning to the soil, it's fine.
So, the rest of the villagers have just seen their leader die. He gives up. Oh, actually, no, sorry. Roll a 1d100, right. I rolled a 1... Oh, actually, no, I'll take that back. I would like to see if this blood loss works. So we'll do it this way.
We'd have to change the blood loss target to 20% to 20
Yeah, I don't know why he's got a 30% chance.
because blood loss works based on your toughness, I think.
Ah, okay.
I'll roll my blood loss if you don't mind, just so we can check. Where
Yeah,
is it?
Sure. It's under armor.
Yeah, I think. Okay, roll something else.
Actually, he has a 20% chance of dying each round, so technically that's correct.
Oh,
as long as the
right,
number is
no, so
above
his
80,
target is
he
80.
dies.
So I was
Oh.
doing it the other way. I was going to do it the lower, 20 he dies. The game does it 80 to 100 he dies. Okay.
Yeah, and it's if you fail, you die.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
One out of
technically,
5.
he still survives. On his turn, he does a willpower check, and he decides to give up, screaming and clutching his face as he does. The other one will also make a willpower check to see if he's willing to surrender to you. He is also willing to surrender after seeing his boss get exploded and his friend clutching his eyeball as he sees an arrow poking through it. He decides to give up. Miss Wilhelma, there is still one person fumbling with a crossbow.
Which one is it?
The one down in the corner here. Oh, actually, sorry, no. There's actually the guy right next to you here. He is also not giving up
It's
yet.
good because I still have to have move. But then I can just smack him.
Sure.
Whack him with me club. There is no +10 for standard attack, right?
Yep, that's
No,
correct.
no percent.
He is going to attempt to parry. And he fails.
I swear, there's something about Warhammer, be it fantasy or 40k, and kneecapping people.
Oh, no,
It's
that's
the
just his
first one
part.
of tonight, I think. You did
We've been hitting them in the head.
10.
So,
Rip that guy, kneecap.
number 34. That can't be right.
It
Oh, no, I
rolls
must have
a.
put it on a different. No, I've put damage on someone else. I made a mistake. Oh no, he's number 35. No, he's not. Never mind.
Would it have passed?
He's number 34, actually. 35 is Wilhelm.
Ah, okay. 34. So he takes 7 damage. So you see your strike dig into him, and you see that you draw blood where you notice he's again not wearing armor.
Idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, peasant. So.
After being struck and watching all this horrible shit happen, he takes a willpower test, but he succeeds. He decides that no, I will bear this pain, and I will strike back with my cudgel.
Brave idiot.
And he hits you in the left arm. Would you like to
I'm
parry?
sorry, I will have none of that. I will have you know I have a shield for exactly such occasions. As soon as my character sheet will start working again. Any second now. Parry. It's defensive. Does that mean I get a bonus, or is it just I can
No,
defend
you
with
click,
it?
You click the defensive square, the defensive box.
Once you've clicked the box, you click fend, pry, and it'll do.
You fail.
Oh, I did not click the thing. I did not have the box. I'm gonna fortune that,
Okay.
because that's quite a significant failure.
Sure. You can. Well, I mean, you failed, so you'd take the damage otherwise. And it's
Why
been a
has
while since we've seen Ulrich.
Once you've
I'm
clicked
pretty
the
sure it's
defensive
gonna
box,
roll
click
like 3 times now, so...
Just roll.
Nothing yet.
Oh. And... let's try this now.
You successfully parry his strike and knock his cudgel to one side. Billy Bob, he can't really see anyone, so he's going to pass his turn. Azureth, there are actually, I will move the people who are, they will spend their turn to move out of the way, but they've given up. So you have one person down in the corner who is currently fumbling with a crossbow, and the person who Miss Wilhelma is currently fighting.
Okay. I just look over my shoulder. Wilhelma, have you got that one?
Yeah, he's all mine.
All right. And then I think he's beyond my charge range, sadly. Charge range is your half move times.
It's already in your sheet.
Let's see, charge range, core stats. Charge is 10. And hold on, no, actually, let me measure with my character. I was standing here, correct? Yeah. That is exactly 10. So I am going to charge this bastard.
Sure.
I shall fortune that.
With a hit to the body, she has a crossbow out, so she can't actually do anything about it. Roll damage.
9. 9.
To number 41. There you are. She is still standing, but looking quite shocked. Bill and Ted are going to do nothing, because they'd only get in the way. Miss Gabrielle.
I'm gonna put away my bow and get out my sword. And then I can't charge, unfortunately, because I'd have to go through a brick wall to do it. So I guess I'm just gonna move to here, I think. So I can join combat next turn.
Okay. She drops her... Actually, she needs to do a willpower check.
As we proceed to be terrifying.
Fails. So as Azurath comes charging over the ritual mound, striking her in the body, she drops to her knees, drops her crossbow, and just begins sobbing and asking for forgiveness. Miss Lysiara.
I can only see one person that is still standing and still unwilling to give up, so, you know. I'm gonna do what I do. And boom. Still smiling.
So hang on, let me. So that's 10. That's 10. So down to -8. Let's have a look at what happens at -8. To the left arm. As this fireball strikes the individual in the head, Miss Wilhelma is a little bit bewildered, but where did that come from? As she glances over her shoulder, she sees another fireball come in. As it strikes the individual, what happens, Miss Lysiara?
Have you ever seen the shooter? I just blew his arm off. And it was right. No, it was the left, so no weapons go flying. Just his left arm is gonna be blown off and blood spatters everywhere.
Luckily for you, he was left-handed, and you see his cudgel go flying into the air along with his hand and gore, and he screams and dies. And that's the end of combat. As you look around, there are many individuals whimpering and pleading for forgiveness, that it was just a time to party? A time to drink?
I'm actually going to move towards the guy with the arrow sticking out of his head.
Okay, as you get over to him, I'm going to roll to see if he dies.
I mean, now combat's over. He rolls toughness to see if he loses the eye.
Oh no, he lost the eye.
Oh, his eye's gone. Yeah, there's no way he would keep that bad boy. So, over to Armour. As Lysiara gets to him, he still seems to be struggling with blood pouring out of his palm as he clutches his eye.
I'm gonna pull the arrow out and cauterize the wound.
Sure.
Can I do heal to try and help him get over this instead?
I'm going over to the guy that I stabbed quite significantly in the torso.
I mean, because
I'm going to mend his wounds as well.
I really don't mind if he's in pain. I'm just going to...
The only one who is in critical at the moment is the one who has the arrow sticking out of his face. Well, used to. Miss Lysiara, you've channeled and you have decided to cast your ability. He screams with just a blood-curdling sound as the inside of his brain begins to boil, and he falls over and dies.
I mean, technically doesn't... I'm just hearing shut the eye, so...
Well, you yanked an arrow out of his skull, and then put a burning, searing hand onto his head. I think the shock, let alone the heat, would probably deserve a toughness test.
I mean, fine. And did he actually failed by one? Ah.
Yep.
Should have waited.
Well, that's what happens when you break the law.
Just make sure none of the others die. Unless they start fighting back again, then you have my full blessing.
My death could have been avoided.
I'm gonna move, lean against the wall, and just go like, oh, let's hope they do try something stupid. And I'm gonna crack my hands.
So could have been the deaths of the previous villagers.
I'm gonna go look at those
but they
corpses
also
in the
had
middle.
to be stupid.
Because they're claiming this is time to party. If this was time to party, those would be animal corpses.
He uses a fortune point to re-roll.
I'm
God
also
damn it,
just
Billy
gonna. I'm just also gonna say in Elthar to the Sierra, contain your bloodlust.
Do I roll a
You
D100?
almost sound like a fanatic of Cain.
Do I roll a D100 or just 1D2 for recovering the arrow? It's a 50-50 chance that it broke.
Yep, you can roll a however you want to do it, 1d2 or...
You
Yeah,
can declare if
actually-
it broke or not.
Nope, you got it back.
I want to scan the surroundings to see if there's anyone else hiding in the trees.
You're not even gonna respond to what I said.
I'm just gonna smile and shake my head.
Lots of arrows were just recovered.
Just smile and shake my head like, eh.
Alright, are those corpses people corpses?
Yes, if you would like to examine them, you can roll me a perception. Lysiara, what was your perception for?
I'm scanning the tree lines around this place to see if there's anyone else.
Nope, there is no one else around. I'll put your captives in a nice
I'm
line.
good.
Ooh.
I'm gonna yell to them. If this was a timed party, then why are the human corpses here?
You know how these village parties go.
I'll be
Yes,
watching the
they end in
prisoners.
arrests.
So, did anyone get a successful... Lysiara was looking elsewhere. I will give Billy Bob another perception.
And you wanted me to do another perception to check the actual place?
He's actually looking at the bodies. He's stared at them now for long enough that Miss Gabrielle would hear him mutter under his breath, these are halflings.
It is times like these I know I must not judge by worst example, but that I lose my faith in humanity.
I'm gonna go back before Billy Bob can do anything stupid. Once I hear about the halflings and immediately feeding the land, halflings. Do you really wish to be cursed by your ancestors? Even they would not wish for a party to be waged over death. I hope that no matter who you talk to, on some level, the god you worship allows you to learn the mistakes you've made. I know Renald would. And I know that your fortunes will turn against you. You shall suffer, and one day, when you finally understand the depths of your folly, I hope someone helps you understand how to recover. But when that day comes, I will not be that person. Step out of line again, I will kill all of you.
Indeed. You are lucky if the Raven Guard decides to let you stay in the stockades without immediately executing you.
I'm not one to believe curses and stuff like that, unless they're, well, of the magical kind. But I'm pretty sure we are their curse right now, people. Just let them wallow in their sorrow, and let's bring them to the Raven God.
Agreed.
I know for a fact that Billy Bob wouldn't accept this and wouldn't take this lying down. So as he stands above one of the individuals who is pretty wounded, they've taken some, they've got some cuts and some.
I put my hand on his shoulder.
You just see
and pull him
him
back slightly.
go berserk. He just starts punching him in the face and kneeing him and grabbing his hair and pulling it back and headbutting him. He goes to town.
I slowly pull him back by one of his shoulders. Now. Do not let rage consume you. They deserve this, indeed. But if we act in rage, we will be no better than they do in their ignorance.
He lights a cigar and kind of stops what he's doing and walks away. I think that's a Billy Bob response. From the individual who was just beaten and your questions, you would hear from the other, for lack of a word, the footpad. Well, this is just what's been done. You know, with Mordheim so close to us, we need something to protect us. So we.
Then you should know that death only draws the curse closer. Fool.
Well, no. We've never been attacked by him. We've always been safe. We've always done the ritual.
That's because you have drawn the curse in. If the death did not protect you, It simply made you part of the curse.
I'm pretty sure if this was meant to protect you, you wouldn't be here.
But it was the old guy. It was the leader. He was the one who wanted to do this, and we just went along with what he said.
Well, and you went along like sheep to slaughter too because of him. We all have choices, and our choices make us in the end.
If what you say is true, you are merely accomplice. That means you at most will die, at the least will rot in jail. This is still murder and ritual sacrifice we speak of, both forbidden in these lands.
I was not lying when I said a farm that worked on similar principles died to a beast of legend. And I know that farms that do not lie in such practices tend to be much more prosperous than farms without.
Do you, Miss Gabrielle?
Farms that
Can
don't lie,
you
rather.
roll me a charm with a +10? The three individuals towards the back of the group, these three here, they begin shaking their heads and pointing at the other two, and you hear they're trying to be quiet, but it's almost as if they want to be heard, but they're a bit intimidated. They were in on it too. They were in a circle. We just came to drink and turn a blind eye. They're the ringleaders. We just cut wood.
If you turn the blind eye to the sacrifices, we're gonna turn the blind eye to you too. You're all part of this. You all have you all share the blame.
We do not make those decisions, but they will be coming with us.
Are you sure? Can we even fit them all in the boat?
The boat's used for delivering piles of wood. They're quite large. It's a river boat.
Okay, fair enough then.
Yeah, think of like the Victorian river boats that used to transport stuff during the industrial era, pre-industrial era, and that's kind of what they're using. They've got big old decks that
Okay,
can
so
stack lots of wood.
It's long, not like tall, so the space
Yeah.
isn't the best. But because it's for transporting logs, you can just like lie a bunch of people down, and it'll take about the same amount of space.
okay.
When you're
It's all
taking
deck.
prisoners, this boat's the same for quality.
And the fact that they're not actually transporting wood this time, they're only there to act as your transport. You've got plenty of room if you decide to take all of these individuals. For the moment, they are all tied up. I'll give you the rope. I think someone's got rope anyway.
Yes, I do. I think.
You tie them all up in a way that they are all bound together, their hands at the front, yet the rope connects to the next person, so they're all connected to each other, so you don't destroy your rope. Would you like to give me a search of the area?
I'll do so.
No bonuses?
No, there won't be any bonuses on this one.
Also, I gotta admit, I'm finding it funny that I've been doing this entire thing 0 fortune.
I'm on 0 now. I spent my last to reroll that parry.
I still have 1 fortune left.
Okay.
I still have 2. I'm still maxed out. I don't spend it all the time.
Miss
Probably the
Lysiara
first time I've had.
and
So.
Mr. Billy Bob begin searching the area, looking round for things, and you search the bodies as well. On the bodies, you find...
Give me a sec to open cart.
Yep, sure.
I got cart open.
You find... actually, where's the loot list? Because that would make this a lot easier. You find, in total, 30 bronze pennies, 27 silver coins, and 2 gold coins on all the bodies. You find another amethyst and another garnet. Who would carry the gems? We've already established that Miss Wilhelma, she had the money last time.
I think
So-
Gabrielle's got them because she's trying to evaluate them.
Okay,
She'll be
actually,
honest about carrying them.
Good point. Yep. No, you did roll and evaluate. So, Gabrielle, as you empty your little purse of the other gems to have a look at them all together, you notice that both the amethysts, they have some of their base rock still connected to the bottom of the crystal. And as you put the other stones away, you move the 2 gems around with their base rock, and they click together. Whoever paid the individuals that you slew on the road by the river, their gemstones came from this location. You can be assured of that.
I'm gonna go to the 2 who were being like they were part of the inner circle, like the 2 that were meant to be part of the inner circle. So, do you want to explain this? I'm holding the 2 interconnected amethysts. I got one from the apparently non-existent bandits. The other from one of your friends over there.
One of them begins to breathe quite heavily as the other one begins to sweat. Well, y'all, so look, we used to get a slave trader. He would bring us some slaves, and they would get sacrificed. We didn't get no picking over who got chosen. It was just pay a slaver, get a slave, and sacrifice them. But the slaver didn't turn up this year. Some other fellas did, and they basically promised us whatever slave we wanted. So the old man said he wanted hobbits. So he wanted halflings. So them's what we got. And the old man, well, he paid them for them.
I'm gonna whisper to Azureth. You think we should tell Hans and Pretzel that we're taking in all of the village? I mean, it would be creepy to wake up in an empty village after you hear some chanting in the woods, right?
I think they should be made aware of the situation. They seem like the only decent folk around here.
I'll let you know, because you did kind of walk through town. A lot of people came out. This is probably about a third of the population of this community. Oh, really? How's it sounding?
It
Better?
fixed itself by kicking, I think, everybody for a moment and coming back.
Yeah. Quick, cut to the. We're having issues. Go to the commercials.
Where's my overlay? Quickly. We will be right back. Have a look at some beautiful
Is Jay here?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back from our technical difficulties and our little break. So, what were you guys going to do?
Difficulties.
It was Discord.
You were trying to tell us about how the town was doing. Like, were we taking the entire downtown?
You've taken about a third of the town, in population wise. So a good old chunk, but yeah, they are still alive.
We don't plan to kill 3 of them.
Do you plan on killing anybody? I'm just gonna give them to the Raven God and let the Raven God do the dirty work. I don't really care either way.
But anyway,
Oh no, we were just there watching. We didn't participate. Yeah, you're still guilty.
let's create the...
There is other loot that you can take, however you will need to carry it back. You've taken probably the most valuable pieces, the money and the gems, but you can strip them if you want. Like there is at least 2 more poor crossbows if you want to take them, and a few cudgels. It's up to you.
How much was the money again?
It's in the cart.
It's half the...
Okay, fine.
Oh yeah, the gold.
If it's on the card, then never mind.
Yeah, whenever this reads out like a loot list, I just dump it in the cart and we deal with it later.
I figured I knew you were going to do that, and for the small items, I thought no, that's fine. But I will warn you about the other. If you want to loot these bodies, you will need to carry it back with you.
How many crossbows would there be? Out of curiosity, just because I want to know, could I carry them?
There'd be 2 crossbows.
I can carry them if necessary. Does anybody want them?
I'm good.
Okay, so are these good bows or crossbows?
Crossbows weigh 120, Dylan, just to let you know.
Oh, then I
They're
can't carry
poor.
them. But actually, I can carry them, but I'm encumbered, which still
Are
means
they
I can carry
regular
them.
well, or longbows? I don't think any of them are longbows, but
No.
worth a
They
try.
only had poor crossbows.
Okay. Yeah. As long
Don't
as
want
we
them.
keep at least 1 crossbow with a card or something, I'm good. We're at good stock of ammo, like 15 or something.
I'll carry bolts if there's bolts.
There are 9 bolts. Hang on, no, no, they would have had 1 in the crossbow, so there are 10 bolts that are available to take.
I'll carry them so someone else can decide what they want to do with them. I just got to do a little bit of mental maths on how many packs of bolts that would be. So that's 10 bolts total, right?
Yeah, that would be 2 silver standard in the book. It'd be 4 silver.
I know it was mental maths and encumbrance.
They weigh, for every 5 is 10 encumbrance.
So I've been doing things a weird way. But yeah, I've done it. I got them.
Because
I'll take the bolts.
I think poor items actually weigh more, but I'm not entirely sure. I know it's only half the price of the standard item.
They don't weigh anymore.
Okay.
They're just really crappy. To the point where you take -5 to your weapon skill or ballistic skill. If you've got poor ammo and a poor weapon, it's -10% to the skill.
I tell you what, Bill will grab one of them, one of the poor crossbows, so you can add 2 crossbows and the bolts to the cart, because that won't over encumber anyone.
Technically, I go over into encumbrance, but my movement never drops to 0, so I could carry it.
Okay, well, I'll probably say, yeah, if you guys just take that stuff, and then don't worry about your encumbrance, Bill and Ted will help you out with that. If you want to take the other, like 3 cudgels, strip the old man of the armor that isn't destroyed, then you will need to worry about encumbrance.
Plus, I'm likely going to give these to them as gifts anyway.
I mean, come on, I'm pretty sure the old man's chest armor is still fine.
You burn a hole in it.
Through the front into the back.
fine.
Everything's fine.
It's also a dead man's armor, and we kind of got problems with dead men.
I'm just, one of my hands is pinching my nose, and just my eyes are closed and just shaking my head.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna separate their, heads from their bodies and scoop up the ice in a secluded location where Gabriel isn't looking at me. So I'll take off the heads, move to the woods, scoop up the ice, and
Sure.
burn the heads.
Didn't even have I mean, say one of
How
the
many?
mistakes.
How many dead people were there?
3.
And one.
One eye you cannot reclaim.
Yeah, I now have 25 out of 20.
You have a few spares just in case. But you do decapitate the corpses, which is good. See, there's part of me inside that's like, you bastard. But no.
Necromancer.
I'll just as a reminder, I will also wash my hands with spirits if there's any around, just in case. I am a little bit wounded anyway.
But Gabriel will go to all 5 of them. We will not be the one to pass judgment, but we will be taking you to the Raven Guard and informing them of what happened here. You may plead your case to them.
Sure. Most of them seem fairly apprehensive, and some of them are groveling and thanking you for not killing them. Others are quite white and look like they're about to be sick from the news. It is night time. It's not quite midnight yet. It is moonless. It is a full moon. No, it's not a full moon, but it's a hunter's moon, so it's very light at the moment. So you can make your way back to town quite easily.
What day is this again?
It is the 27th, or the evening of the 27th.
Wait, the 27th? Didn't we arrive in the 28th?
Nope, you arrived on the 27th. You fought some bandits on the trail coming to the woodcutters' camp. You then enjoyed an evening, kind of, with Hansel and Gretel. And then you came out and had a fight. So it's still the 27th.
Okay, gotcha. Then I'll just get ready for the 28th.
So you go back to town with your prisoners. As you do this, a few of the other townspeople have heard the screams and shouts, and they've come outside to see what's going on. Hansel has taken it upon himself to basically pass your words on. Stay here, stay around. He couldn't stop them from coming out, but he has kept them in one place. And as they see the group behind Hans, in front of Hans, see you approach, they begin to gasp and, oh look, there they are. And Hans turns around and is quite shocked to see you with 5 prisoners tied up, and for some of you a little bit worn out from your night's adventure.
I mean, my injuries were from before, so did any of us actually take the damage?
I don't think so.
No, you parried. You parried the only one that hit you, I think.
The damage I've taken so far has been healed.
Yeah, the only damage I currently have was from the ambush, where I got shot in the head.
But like as we're going through town, if like when people start trying to ask, Gabrielle's just like, they will be going to the Raven Guard. Crimes, very heinous crimes committed.
What is going on? What happened in the woods? Why are all these people your prisoners? This is very confusing. Hans steps forth.
Has she not told you yet?
Well, she told me what she knew. My wife doesn't go to the rituals. She only said what the rumors are not. What did you find?
Bodies. Too many of them.
He looks. His eyes go wide, and he looks really shocked. Human bodies? No, this. They would not do this. They are not that
They
barbaric.
would, and they did.
It doesn't matter whose bodies they were, just that they were bodies.
Very well. And Hans kind of takes charge of the situation and gets the rest of the people to sod off back inside. He shows you to a storeroom, which is built out of stone. It has a secure lock on, and it seems quite empty. It looks as if their stores were running kind of low. He tells you that you can leave the prisoners in here. His wife goes and gets the key, which was in the old man's room, and he says that there's only one key, so they can't break out, and he'll personally watch the door until early morning, until you guys have had some sleep.
Thank you. I'll thank him, just kind of... I'll give him a few more details, like none of them have actually had judgment passed on them properly yet, but they've all been caught there, and the Raven Guard are going to deal with them. So it's, in a sense, of, we're acting to give them to the Raven Guard. Don't let them out, no matter what they say. I'll also give him details about the fact there were bodies there. They were doing quite a disturbing ritual and having a party. I'm not going to let him know about the full depths though, because it'd probably break the poor man.
Okay.
There's no way hell that that's just been a rumor that everybody knows.
So, you all, he basically tells you that's why he's going to keep guard on the prisoners, because everyone else is kind of related, and if the Raven Guard are taking him prisoner, then he wants to try and do his bit. He does thank you for your words, and he hurries along outside to ensure that, you know, no one breaks out. No, anyone who goes near there, you might even hear during the night as you go for a wee, someone approach, and he backs them away and tells them, no, you can't speak to them, you can't say goodbyes. That the Raven Guard have taken them, sod off. You all awake, arise in the morning. You all gain 1 fortune point back. You also gain 1 hit point back, or 2 if you're lightly wounded, I think.
I'm pretty sure it's still 1, not
It's
2.
one.
it's one.
If you're heavily wounded, you restore 1 per week.
Yeah, that's what it was. You arise early in the morning to the smell of cooking eggs and bacon, as Gretel appears to have made you all some breakfast. Is there anything else you want to do in town whilst you're here, or are you happy just gathering your prisoners and basically heading back to your ride? That's what you call her.
Would I actually like to do something during the night, just to try to perceive who is going towards where the villagers are being captive? If there's anybody trying to actually get them out, that kind of stuff. But
So if you want to try and do that, that means you're going to be up most of the night, not actually sleeping. You're basically going to be listening out for, right, someone goes, right, I'm going to go and see who it is.
yeah, I'd mostly only half sleep during the night, so I'd be a little bit more tired this day.
Okay, so I believe it says in the rule book that you have to sleep in order to gain a fortune point back. That's
Yep, it does.
one of the key points of, no, you need to rest if you want this back. You do have full fortune, I believe you
Yep.
said, so you can
Yeah, I do.
forego the sleep for that evening and do as you said. You will be you won't take fatigue because it's one night of light sleep, so yeah, you don't regain your fortune, and I'll probably say you can get your hit point. I won't deny you that.
Okay. I go back to 8 then. Let me roll perception then. Yay.
So throughout the night you hear conversations, and you hear, it seems to be a lot of women, a few men kind of pleading to be able to speak to the prisoners and say something, and you hear a few children, there are a few children's voices saying that they just want to see daddy, or say goodbye to mummy, or things of this nature. Once you hear no, they're taken prisoner by the Raven Guard, most of the descent kind of quietens down and people reside themselves and go back in. But then an hour, half an hour later, someone else will try their luck. You hear a few people come out and just start up a conversation, like, oh, I brought you a drink, how's it going, look, can I not please just have a quick word? But Hans seems to be kind of a harsh bastard in some ways, and quite good in others, because he doesn't budge. He stays quite firm in his duties.
They'll understand one day.
Cool. I'm just checking for more suspicious activity anyway. If it's just people trying to say their goodbyes and they're not attempting to do anything suspicious, I won't mention this to anybody anyway.
Okay. Was there anything anyone wanted to do in the morning? If not, then we'll just take it into narrative time. In the morning, you guys wake up. Some of you sit down for breakfast. Others have a smoke before breakfast. You round up your prisoners. Hans looks very tired and quite happy to see you all. He doesn't really say much, except from that the night was quiet before face planting his bed and sleeping. And he apologises for not being able to see you off. But I'd say after an hour or so, you decide to head off and leave this town and head back to the boats.
Gabriel tells him to get some rest.
He murmurs a thank you before you can hear snoring coming from his vicinity. As you make the 5-hour trek back to the boats, you hear a lot of whimpering coming from your prisoners, a lot of whining and bitching, but that's kind of to be expected. Some of them even try bribing you, and Billy Bob is almost takes the bait, but when he asks what they have to trade, they come up kind of short, and he loses interest quickly after.
Maybe Billy Bob will probably just beat them and take their shit instead of actually being bribed, but...
You have secret treasure? Where? Brilliant. To the Raven Guard view. Get our shovels, lads. You get back to the boat, and the boat's crew and their captain seem quite bemused that you have yet more prisoners, as they already have two of your prisoners from just yesterday morning. You bring them in and quickly explain what's happened, and that you think you've discovered why the wood was not being delivered as scheduled. And with very little argument from the crew, they set up sails and begin setting off. You notice that this time they actually put out oars and begin to row upstream more than using their sails, and the captain is very quick to put the prisoners to work. You spend 2.5 days travelling.
While we're travelling, I'll evaluate the gems.
Sure.
Do you want me to roll once per day? So again.
So what will happen is you can only fail so many times before you finally decide on a price.
I mean, I'm probably going to fortune it. I wanted to know if I was rolling for, like, just checking both days or not.
I'd probably say you could you could roll again on the next day of travelling on the seas, but if you were to fail again, that would be these gems are worth this much, and you would think that they are worth that much.
Yeah, I'm going to fortune it and then roll for the second day.
Sure. You can roll and fortune both if you want. Okay, so on your first day, you kind of sit down on deck and you find a quieter place to look at the gems and to try and evaluate their prices. You can't quite figure out how much they're worth. You've got numbers rolling around in your head, but you just can't figure out how they're cut. How, would this gem be 1 jewel or would it be 2? And you can't quite put your finger on it. But what you don't notice is the captain of the ship actually notices what you're doing. And he takes an interest and he says, well, have you ever seen any cut gems? Have you ever looked at them to see how they're done? And he tells you a bit about how the process is done. And he shows you a couple of gemstones that he has. He has a gold necklace with a garnet in it, and it's a cut garnet. And he tells you that the stone that was cut from it was slightly smaller than one of the ones you have, and that gives you a price to kind of correlate how much it's worth. And the next day you sit back, and after getting this new information, you think you can accurately price all the stones. And I will tell you. Do you want the prices now, or do you want them when you trade them in?
I was going to say that just when you inevitably do something to Villain's head in the cart, just you can update the cart.
Sure, yeah, I can do that.
Because it might be good for me to know, but at the same time it should be easier for later on for it to be in the cart.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So, as the first day of travelling on the sea, actually no, it'd be the end of the first day. You would see that the crew begin to put up blinders yet again on the opposite side of the boat now that they're going upriver. No, sorry, on the same side. Again, the blinders go up to hide the crew and any passengers from the sight of Mordheim.
Again, this year observes the city.
Are you going to observe the city again?
Yes.
Gabrielle's gonna let Lissy Howard learn the hard way.
Okay.
I mean,
So, if you roll me a perception, you can have a +10 to this.
then
Okay.
it would be 66 instead of the 56, but this time I am aware. If I see a guy ringing bells, I should probably look away. So we know. Still.
So, as you stare at the ruined city, the cursed city of Mordheim, darkness begins to set, and you see a few lights come up here and there. There's quite a few large buildings still standing in Mordheim, and a few of them in the highest points you can see lights flickering. And as you try and look for people, must be alive. There must be someone on the streets or someone. You see a glimpse of something odd, something. It's man-sized, yet its tail is long and skinny, and it scutters off. You only get a glimpse of it as it darts into the darkness with incredible speed, and as you look deeper into Mordheim through the battered down walls, you don't see anything else.
I only saw the
Is
furry
there a
bastard.
stabby on the wind?
Probably too far away from me to be able to actually hear that. And as far as most people are aware, Skaven are myth. Maybe I know a little bit about the stories and myths, but still.
I was just thinking, isn't it like the elves? Like the only reason the elves don't know this game is because they're too prideful to accept they're wrong. Like the elves are really good at denying what's in front of them.
No, we cannot be wrong.
Here's the thing: this Skaven have been gone from the face of the world for so fucking long that most people are like, they're just myths.
The last time anyone saw a Skaven was during the massive Skaven uprising that happened right after the Black Plague. That was the last time anyone saw a Skaven.
Well, anyone who wasn't treated as a madman. Because humans do deal with Skaven, even to this day. They're just not. They deal with people in the shadows and aren't given a proper look at who or what they're dealing with, or they get a human slave to be their patsy.
I mean, even so,
And then just to be sure, they stabby, yes.
I mean, even so, most people when they see a Skaven, they think it's a beastman and not a
Yeah.
Skaven.
But anyway, so as you see this creature, you can't put your finger on it, but perhaps it's something to research another time. As the moon is dark tonight and there's a chill on the evening air. The next night you're too far away from the city to be able to see it, and during that day the blinds had been lowered. The next day and a half passed with very little incident. There are a few, again, whimperings and whinings from the dregs that you have captured, but the captain seems all too happy to give them the lashing to shut them up. And you arrive at the docks of Siegfriedhoft.
Hey, we're back home. As much home as this place is.
When we're bringing them in, like Gabrielle's in the old Raven uniform. She's giving this an air of legitimacy.
Many things we are, but legitimate is not one of those things.
I also wear the uniform.
Me too.
I've actually been wearing it quite large part of it. Like
I mean-
Old
We
time
have
for
a Raven God uniform since when? As far as I'm aware, we only have a sigil.
Since we were enrolled, we got
No,
the
we got a
uniforms.
sigil. We got a
It was
coin,
couple of
not a actual clothing.
Yeah,
the
but
uniform, hang on, the uniform that you were given was an old, disused version of the Raven Guard uniform. So it's no longer in circulation. They don't use it anymore. But you do, when you all wear it, you do look like a warband, all in the same colours, the same.
Yeah.
He
still,
also
my
has the
character
legitimacy
wears
of-
it because
We're affiliated
she's a
with the Raven
sergeant, so she's serious about the job.
Yeah, mine's sword, so she wears it too.
Bill and
It's why
Ted
I-
wear it with pride. You know, they're really happy being in a little unit and.
Honestly,
Pleasure,
Paid
little
really
pleasant
nicely
hearts.
by their secret overlord, Gabrielle, who's paying them extra.
unless it's an actual good quality robe, I'm just gonna keep using my elvish robes.
Boo!
Keep in mind, you gotta
Okay.
wash them.
It's basically
don't care.
it's
I'll
a
watch them.
uniform. That's what it counts as.
Yeah, then I'm still keeping my robes.
So you take your captives, up to the Raven Guard's main office. There are a few Raven Guard soldiers who are patrolling during the day, and you see that they're quite surprised at how many prisoners you seem to have brought in. But they don't stop you, and you make your way to the Raven Guard headquarters, where Branda Caligo always waits patiently for you. You make your way through the doors you've passed through many times now, and knock on the door, and you are greeted with a voice you know well. Anna, make it quick though.
Hey, boss, we're back.
Oh well, I wasn't expecting y'all to come back. Forget about the make it quick. Come in. Give me your report.
This time we're not alone.
Excuse me.
This time we actually brought them alive.
Prisoners enacting some of the more forbidden rituals, like blooding the land with corpses.
By
No
Maul,
spooky
you-
spectral dogs this time, though.
You've got a whole posse of them there, don't you?
Two of them are ringleaders. 3 of them were there claiming to be there to party.
He
I thought best to
whistles.
bring them all in and let the Raven Guard pass judgment.
He
They're all
whistles, and
guilty.
a guard from outside turns and looks down the corridor. Yeah, can you take these prisoners to the jail and get them processed? Better not keep these riffraff in here. The guard comes along and takes the rope off of one of you and leads them to the bailey. So
And these two, like Gabrielle points at the 2 that originate this, they're part of what might be an organized ring of criminals. They're very well. They seem to have an interesting method of determining who the other one is, and once they're out of sight, she'll show the amethyst and like how it works.
I see. So they were doing some sort of sacrifice out there, but so why would they not? So break it down for me again. They're not delivering the wood. You find out that they're doing some sort of sacrifices, which by all means that is punishable by well, depending on the sacrifices, unfortunately, it's either death or I think it's 20 days in the stockades along with 40 lashings. But who are they sacrificing?
We call them this time with halflings. However, the others seem to confess that it's not always been.
Well,
Please.
the way they explained it, it sounds like they were They were usually buying slaves.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
well- They hired a band of bandits to, well, take slaves. And these bandits were also attacking people that were coming up the road towards the village. So, that's probably how your messengers
That was
stopped.
the most recent. Yeah. And then like Gabrielle will try and explain as best she can the entire situation, giving it from like she's trying to give it this passively without coloring it, so he can make a proper opinion. But like there will be points where her opinion like comes across, and then she's like, "I'm sorry, it was more like," and then explains it properly.
Well, it's more than possible that these bandits have the ones you've captured, the one with the missing leg, for instance. It's possible they're connected to the ring that we have to deal with. The bandits that be attacking the caravans. They'll be treated separately for now. The 5 that you brought in from the town, from the woodcutters' camp, I'll have to look into that. Look, I have no joy in saying this, that slavery's not illegal. If people go into slavery for different reasons, and if someone buys a slave and kills them, that's their business. It's not something I want to accept, but it is the law of the land.
I brought them in because of the blooding of the land. Slavery, I had no idea it was slavery until after the ritual.
The blooding of the land, the halflings, as you put it, that's something we'll have to look into. The halflings don't go into slavery. They've got coin to cover their costs. It's rare. Hell, I don't think I've ever seen a halfling in slavery. So, it's more than likely that they were kidnapped. And he makes the sign of more, which hopefully we can prove, and that will be something on the bandits. But we'll get a confession out of them. The torturer knows how to do his business. So it looks like and he opens up a drawer, takes out a coin sack, coin purse, and places it on the table. But it looks like you definitely found something. So here's 20 gold each. That's for the woodcutters camp. And well, I guess you brought 2 bandits in alive. So let me have a look at the edict that we put out here. And he goes and pulls out a load of papers from his desk, and he begins going through them all to try and pull out the paperwork that he has somewhere, and that paperwork is there you go. Thank you very much. So you don't have any known bandits. You have 2 unknown bandits that are alive, so he gives you an extra 6 gold.
I suggest we give this to Bill and Ted. Their assistance has been worth the money.
Yes, and they are.
We get a total of 6 gold crowns, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're trying to give it to. I'm trying to give it to Bill and Ted.
You get 20 gold each for the woodcutter job.
But I get it. I'm gonna look at. I mean, are we sure we're not pampering them too much?
Have you seen the equipment they use? I'm pretty sure that a butcher's cleaver makes a better weapon than some of the stuff they've been using.
Out of character. Bill and Ted are actually looking much better now, aren't they? They are wearing full leather and
One of them still using
weapons.
a poor crossbow.
No, at the moment, Bill and Ted. So they've both got leather jackets. Bill's came off of a zombie. Ted's got destroyed, so he took one out of the cart to cover his chest whilst you guys were on your mission. That is in the cart and named. But yeah, so they both only got leather jackets on with their uniforms. Their weaponry is all of... I mean, to be honest with you, Bill's not doing too bad. He could do with a... Oh, no, sorry. Ted's not doing too bad. Bill's got crap everything, except from his sword.
Fair enough. You guys want to divide the money amongst them? Fine. Still think we might be giving them a bit too much.
It breeds loyalty.
Besides, they earned their keep. One of them almost died. That's hazard pay.
You know,
Yeah.
one of them, Chuck, gave you some spirits to put on your wounds, I believe.
That is actually true.
Yeah. Also, how many days till Keg's End?
I believe it's 2 or 3.
So, if we have the money now, I'm going to go to the master blacksmith and pay my debt. Because I still owe them 10 gold. I mean, him.
While he's doing that, like throughout the day, like once we've like done the whole meeting, because I assume the meeting.
So before you guys go off and do other things, Brander tells you that some things have happened in town. He asks you to keep an eye out for any suspicious individuals or anything that would catch your eye. There have been more murders since you've been away. Another prostitute who is not from Stirland, who has no connections in town, was murdered whilst you were away. The warband of the Bloody Rain were sent out to protect a caravan. They were attacked by bandits. They took some casualties, nothing serious, just a few cuts and a few wounds that needed treating. They killed 3 bandits, and it looked like 3 beggars. It looked like they'd recruited people from the surrounding countryside and just put them in their force. The warband of the Wolf was sent out. They took a large number of people from the town. They hired on a lot of levies who... They were all people who wanted revenge, in a way. They, again, engaged the bandits. They were attacked by a much larger force. They were attacked by 7 bandits, 3 footpads, and 4 beggars. And they took severe casualties. Almost all the levies that they took with them, which were 7, all died, and they were unable to reclaim the bodies. The caravan itself managed to make its way to its destination. They were able to protect the goods, but a lot of lives were lost. One of their men was also injured. But on the return journeys, neither warband was attacked. Oh, and they killed 3 footpads and 2 beggars.
We should look into dealing with these bandits if we do manage to capture one of them that can lead us to their base, and would be very good for the city.
Brander will also tell you that they are arranging for a plan to be brought together. He thinks it's going to take some more time to get things ready. but he tells you if you are prepared to move, to let him know, and he will put the plan into action. He wants to hire all 3 warbands to essentially try and do that, try and capture a large number of bandits by leaking information to see if there are any spies in town or what's going on. But he's basically said once you guys are ready and healed up, and the other warbands are healed up, to come and let him know, and he'll inform everyone, and you'll all have the meeting and have the details of the plan. He tells Billy Bob, who unfortunately isn't here. So if you guys want to take a note that there is a mission, it's when you want to start it. Billy Bob also has a request for a visit from a... Oh, bollocks, I forgot what his name is. He is on my characters, so... Oh, maybe he's not. Okay, well, Billy Bob also has someone who wants to speak to him. A big game hunter in town. He's looking to hire a warband in order to get more trophies and to do something that he wants. But if you want more details, he did give this message for Billy Bob, but as it's for the warband, he doesn't really care about... He's not going to keep it confidential, he doesn't care. And I think that's all the information you guys need to know right now.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the blacksmith, to my good friend, and ask if he by any chance has grappling hooks.
I'm gonna, while this is happening, I'm gonna buy 6 spirits.
Sure.
I'll drop the bolts in the carts and let Billy Bob and let Bill and Ted decide if they want to, if they take them if they want them.
Well, I'll be heading to the blacksmith myself, so I imagine I'm gonna go there with Azareth.
And when no one's around again, I'm planning on giving them more gold.
Seriously, if Lysara ever finds out about this...
What? It's not like it's going out of your cut.
So you go to the... because Bill and Ted will be working for part of the day, unloading your gear to the cart and doing things like that. So you'll catch up with them in the evening. So you go to the blacksmith, and Hagrin no longer has a cart outside his... although it is still there, I need to delete it. There's no longer a cart outside his shop full of broken equipment and armour. It seems that in the 5 days or so that you've been gone, he has got through his workload. And you don't hear the forge working, you don't hear the hammers tolling. But as you approach and shout for him, you do hear him. In back. Just putting me feet up.
Alright. We're back in time for Kegs In. That was a quick one that we took that job.
Oh, Azurf, and Miss Wilhelmer. It's good to see you again. It's not long till Kegs End. I've even got a few visitors of myself. Well, a few dwarves that needed a place to celebrate the holiday.
We get the strangest jobs.
You can hear stamping of feet above you upstairs.
I assume you've got people staying over at this very moment then.
A couple of the dwarves that were following that merchant around. I told them they could stay, and a couple of others, but you're talking about an odd mission, Miss Wilhelmer. What? Do tell. What's all that about?
We always seem to get involved in some spooky business.
At least this time there were no spirits.
We can thank the gods for that.
Aye.
Speaking of which, and I'll produce the 10 gold and give it to him. I believe I still owed you the rest of the payment.
Aye, that's very good of you to come by without me having to send nobody. That's very good of you indeed.
No, please, that would just be poor manners.
Aye.
You'd think that, but the number of lords I've had to send like someone round to get me money is kind of absurd.
Aye. Were they busy lords or simply greedy lords?
I don't think there's much difference between them.
Eh, most of the time when I came here, I've been looking for weapons, but I've been looking for something else. Do you by any chance have any grappling hooks?
I normally sell the grappling hooks to the general store, and they
Aye.
trade it on. But if you need one, I'm sure I can sell you one. Sure.
Aye. If it's your making the general store, I'll trust it. But if you've got any lying around at this moment, I'll buy it right from you.
He goes out back, and you can hear some rustling and some jangling and metal being moved and boxes scraping on wood. And he comes out with a grappling hook and a length of rope. How
long
much
is the rope?
is a grappling hook?
Give me a sec, I'll find it.
How much rope?
Grappling hook is 4 gold coins.
He tells you he will he'll sell it to you for 4 gold, rather than you guys have given him a lot of business, and he doesn't seem a problem with cutting you guys a deal. And the length of rope would be 20 yards.
20 yards. Is that included in the price or not?
Yes, he will throw it in. You guys have spent quite a lot of money with him, and he's more
Aye,
than
that's
happy.
very generous of you. Remind me to get another keg in the next 2 days so I can share it with you on Keg's End.
Oh, I think you'll have trouble doing that. With all my fellow Dawi coming this year, which is is a bit strange. I decided to buy up everything that wait, let me find his name. Everything that Gottfried had. Basically, I've left him with enough ale and enough mead and things to get him to the 33rd, and then everything that's in his store is coming to mine. Well, not everything. I've rented his place out for once the evening gets proper started.
Aye. Did he still have any of his own special brew or not?
No, he said that wasn't ready. He said it would take him a wee bit. He said last time it was like 3 months that he brewed it for, so he doesn't want to.
Aye.
He wants to do it the same.
I can understand that. Well then, my keg is still half full. I'll make sure it stays that until Keg's End is upon us.
Aye, good to hear it. Well, when it starts, by all means, depending on how you drink, we'll probably be invading the Wolf's Head at about, I should imagine just before sundown. If you can handle your drink, then you can more than welcome to come to mine earlier. But we'll be taking it easy, but most hungry well, I've drunk very few elves in that kind of sense, but
I say I can drink well for a dwarf, but that is nothing compared to the skills of a Dawi.
we do know how to put the elves away. It's a frightening thing when a group of us get together, and it looks like I'm gonna have at least 4 more visitors. I have to make some room. He scratches his head as he kind of thinks where he's gonna fit all these Dawi.
Unfortunately, I can't really help with the housing of your friends, but if you need anything else, you can ask me for help.
Oh, that's very kind of you, but I'm sure we'll find a place for them. Like I said, I've put good gold down at the tavern, so if in doubt, they can sleep on the floor there. They won't care by the end.
Aye. Any case, nice doing business with you again. It is a very good deal. I truly do appreciate it.
I can always, or you and your friends have spent plenty of gold here. It's the least I can do. I'm sure most the traders would be like that once you spend some money with them. Fortunately, we don't have any real greedy traders in town. We're quite fortunate with that.
Aye, this is indeed one of the better towns I've ever stayed in.
So, was there anything else that you wanted, or did you just want to have a little chat with Hagrid?
Yeah, I just want to have a little chat. I look over at Wilhelma. Is there anything else you need here, or shall we be off to our compatriots again?
Well, I just wanted to make sure that they was settled. I don't like such an outstanding debts. So, yes, I suppose we should go back.
Hagrid gives you a wink, and aye, the debt is settled. So as you leave with waves from Hagrid,
I imagine I will just get my axe later when he's done with it.
oh no, you can collect it now. You've been 5 days.
In which case, I will collect it now.
Sure. He hands it to you.
And I'm gonna put it in the cart.
Sure.
What, is it just an axe or is it like a halberd or something?
It's a great axe. Great weapon axe.
So as you cross over from Hagrid's, heading towards the Wolf's Head Inn to put it in the cart, you do notice that the cart that the 2 halflings and the 2 dowie were travelling on, that you met on your way back from one of your quests, is still there. They're still trading. There's quite a few people actually there doing business with the halflings. As you walk past, you do hear a few muttered words, but nothing too malicious. Miss Gabri... no, you're waiting for Bill and Ted. Miss Lysiara, was there anything you wish to do?
Straight towards Balthazar. I have some stuff to give him.
Okay. So you head to Balthazar. You more sense where the house is, or where the door is. And again, you're led to a completely different area of town, and as you stand at the doorway, you open it, and indeed, you are in the entrance of Beliaris's shop.
I don't remember, it was Balthazar Beliarius or something like that?
Yeah, Beliarius Balthazar.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna call him Balthazar because it's easier to say.
I've
Yeah,
always fun with me.
Is this evening, afternoon? What time is this again?
It's about late afternoon, I believe. So you're talking 3, almost 4 o'clock.
Okay. Good evening, Balthazar. I'll remove my hood.
Oh, hello there, young one. By all means, come in.
Balthazar, how's your apprentice? Have you dispatched him yet?
Ah, Boris. No, I have not sent him away just yet. He's getting over the incident that took place. I gave him a grimoire. I have, against my... Perhaps he needs some way to control his... But anyway, he is recovering.
Wait, you gave him the grimoire, Balthazar? He needs to be taken to the college. Don't delay. He needs to be taught by a mom. No offense, but he needs to be taught in an actual mage's classroom.
It's not, the boy has talent. I know I can hone that talent. I wished to break his superstition of magic, his need to think that he was cursed and bad luck and such nonsense. I will admit I have failed in that regard because incidents with those of his nature do happen, and many do see it as misfortune, although it's nonsense.
Balthazar, he needs to be taught by wizard lords. He needs to be in a place where that can never happen ever again. I'm sorry to say this, but be careful. He may take a turn for the worse if he is kept here. He's a good boy. He has good intentions, but still.
I believe different. He is from here. His family was from here. I believe that being in his homeland gives him more purpose to study and try harder. But I will think on it, and perhaps my old mind is impairing my judgment, or perhaps it is some want to not be here alone, but perhaps you were right. Your people have a sense of these things. But yes, of course, you surely didn't come here to talk to an old man like me. What can I do for you?
Well, I came to deliver you this, and I take out the jug with the ice.
Oh, marvelous! You've brought them. I thought it would take you much longer than that to find.
I actually have a few spare. There are 25 eyes in there. My job takes me into interesting places, let's put it like that.
Well, that's well, you've gone above and beyond what I originally asked for, but well, I see no problem with paying you a little bit extra for it. If I can find the bloody... Where am I putting these? It's
20 eyeballs are worth 65 gold crowns. Here.
So he will raise that to 70. I've got like a million different handouts. Is one that you guys can access? What's it called? Jobs board. There it is.
Jobs board. There it is.
God, I don't know how I've not been able to see this. Yeah, he'll raise it to 75 gold.
Ah, very generous, but also so. Thank you.
Not a problem. A grisly old business. It's not something most mages want to do. That's why they buy them from me. Funnily enough.
Well, if you need any more of these, just give me another jug.
Well, I'm regretfully to say, whilst they are a good seller, I don't sell many. Mages who do come to me will often buy in bulk, but and he gestures and a book kind of hovers its way over to him, and he opens it and begins flicking through the pages. I'm afraid my stores are quite nicely filled now with your last this delivery and the last. But I will look into it and see if I can find something more for you to do. But I have quite enough eyes for now. Thank you.
Very well. Balthazar, be careful with your apprentice, but if you do need help, you can call upon me. I'll do my best. I'm not a teacher, but I can try to help. He is a good kid after all.
That's very kind of you. He is getting over his grief, which is why I did not want him unrestrained. The grimoire should hopefully stop him from being able to accidentally lash out, which has worked so far, but I will keep what you say in mind. Thank you.
As always, it's good to see you, Balthazar. I'll put my hood back up and I'll leave.
He gives you a little bow, and as the door closes, you have a feeling that the shop is gone somewhere else.
I'll just shiver a little bit. I wonder when I'll get used to this feeling. Probably sooner than later, with my age. I'll go meet the rest of the group, and I'll give each one of them 15 coins.
Cool. I will just remind you, your Grim, it is able to appear in your bedroom.
Oh yes.
You
I
will
will
need
be.
to tell your friends, or you can actually get a private room, and then it can appear in your private room.
I mean, technically, I can probably see him while the rest of the people can, because I can see into the arcane world, kinda.
I don't think the arcane world works like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, so until he's tethered directly
Oh,
to
that-
you,
that-
as he
that-
walks
that-
around,
that-
people will see a ghostly wolf, a ghostly what was it, like a basset hound, or a big ass
Yeah.
bloody black dog walking around town. I gathered that you had told it to like stay in the crypt until you
Yeah.
called it to be somewhere.
But I mean, even if I can even actually I can't see into the magic world unless I do magic sense. But still, I can probably talk to him if he
Magical
speaks to me.
Magical sense is reading the winds of magic, though.
Yeah, and if I roll well, I can probably see there's a disturbance in the force in the form of a dog walking around. But still, yeah, I will get a private room for myself.
Otherwise, there'll be another report from Branda saying, yes, for some reason at night, people have been seeing this ghostly massive black dog on the streets. And do you know
I
anything
mean,
about this,
Sparks,
Lysiara?
It's Barkspawn, he's fine. He means no one any harm. Yeah, I'll go grab a room and I will share the coin I got which is 15. Jade, not Jade. This please also add money to Billy Bob because he's
Yep,
here.
no, I will do that. That was 15.
Yeah, 15. 75 divided by
Okay.
5, 15. Is
I
that
will
correct?
do
Let me
that.
check. Oh, no. Yeah, 15 each head. Also, I will give. Where's my notes? I will give Gabriel crowns, Wilhelm 19 gold crowns. Let
Give me
just
how
check
many?
much- 19. I'm repaying my debt.
Ray.
I just need to check if I actually have enough money. I actually do the exact amount of money needed.
If you're paying all your crowns, Gabrielle won't take all of them.
I will take it because they won't know how much money I have. So
This is an unsubtle reminder that you owe something to someone.
My dad. I'll pay everybody the exact Gabrielle 19, which was how much I owed her. Wilhelma 19, how much I owed her, and Azuraf 24.
So all debts
So
have been
I am-
paid by the finger wiggler.
Yep.
Yay!
I
So,
know.
calculator, I summon thee from the abyss.
Holy shit.
I am now. I
I'm
currently
back
now
to
have
being
silver.
rich.
So
You stopped?
How much gold do you have of value?
Me?
I ain't telling you.
Oh.
You're gonna try and steal it.
No, I don't.
Um,
My character is the opposite of a thief.
I'm just checking, but I think I could buy a horse if I
So-
the book.
Gabrielle, you wanted to. Did you just want to give Bill and Ted some extra gold?
I was doing what I did last time and giving them extra gold on top of what they'd already were meant to be paid.
Okay. Did
I
you want to? Did you want to do any role play there, or did you mind just doing that as a transaction?
I don't mind it just being done as like a background transaction. It was just
Okay.
gonna, they get another extra 3 gold each.
Okay, I will add that to their sheets. We'll do that as a transaction now, because we'll wrap the episode up here, and then in 3 weeks' time when we play again, you can all rest. If you want to have a bit of RP time, you can do that, and then we can time skip until Keg's End, because that should be an amusing episode.
Also, how much? It's 10 silver shillings for a private room, but that's per night, right?
Yep.
So I
Yep.
technically, I am not gonna get a private room, but I will allow the dog to appear in the common room with me. You know, you people will be aware that a dog might pop out every now and then.
Well, I think that's a brilliant place to leave it for the episode. So thank you all for watching. This has been the Dumbass class with me, Dyslexic Gamer. So I hope you all have a good time and take care and bye-bye.